After 18 months of playing this freaking damn BS, finally I'm able to bypass the Ascension Domain. So as you can see, I was able to finally complete the Ascension Domain and raise my adventure rank for the first time in 18 months. Through the use of in-game bugs and glitches, I was able to bypass Genshin Impact's most notorious barriers, obtain every available Animalculus and Joculus, obtain Xiangling, and clear the Ascension Domain without ever obtaining an element. This series of events has unlocked many new features previously unavailable and give way to future possibilities such as reaching AR25 without ever obtaining an element. So how did I perform the tricks shown in the video? Well, let's talk about it. During version 2.8, there was a spot in Inazuma where using the Electrograna in a specific angle will cause the character to disappear and enter into a glitched state. Not a lot is known about the inner workings of this glitch. However, it allows our character to do 3 critical things. The glitched character will drop vertically at a rate slower than usual. The glitched character, if sprinting off a cliff, will move horizontally permanently until it encounters a wall. If the glitched character jumps and teleports to a nearby location, the game will deploy a glider until the character touches the ground. During this state, the traveler will not drop to the ground, unlike when gliding normally. These aspects of the glitch allowed the traveler to obtain every single Animalculus and Joculus in the game, which resulted in no element traveler reaching level 10 on both Mondstadt and the rare Statue of the Seven. This not only gave the traveler the maximum 240 stamina possible, but also the ability to complete the 9 Pillars of Peace quest. Placing the 9 Stone of Remembrance into their respective pillars, I proceeded to prepare myself to enter the ruins. However, as the traveler has never obtained an element, this quest does not exist, and entering the ruins resulted in an empty area. No monsters, no chest, and no 5-star Noblesse artifact. It was a massive disappointment to collect every Joculus just to be rewarded with absolutely nothing. But the rewards, even if it was pretty amazing, was nothing compared to what I was able to get during the version 3.0 update. And that is... the requirements of obtaining Xiangling was simple. Reach AR20 and beat the Spiral Abyss floor 3, normally easily obtainable for anyone playing the game. In No Element Traveler, however, this was much harder to obtain thanks to the various barriers I needed to overcome. The one barrier which I was unable to overcome was to actually claim Xiangling due to my lack of access to the events tab, but this changed during the Sumeru update. During the Sumeru update, there is a specific interface which shows up for any adventure rank 20 players entering version 3.0 for the first time. Normally a harmless interface to introduce players to Sumeru, this interface however has one unique feature which I was able to exploit. By holding Alt and clicking on this interface, you're able to enter the events tab, and just like that, I was able to claim Xiangling, and for the first time in 18 months, No Element Traveler has a new partner to explore Teyvat with. Obtaining a second character is nothing to sneeze at, especially if the character is Xiangling. Besides Xiangling being one of the best characters in the game, Xiangling is also a pyro character. And as a pyro user, I was able to use her to light up pyro monuments, torches, and many other exploration mechanics which requires pyro. But the most important part of this, however, is the ability to kill the electro-hypostasis. When I first tried to clear the Ascension Domain back in 2021, I was unable to do so due to the electro crystals being impossible to break without an element. But with Xiangling around, this turned the previously impossible fight into something which can be easily completable. And for the first time ever, the Ascension Domain was cleared, and I'm now adventure rank 35. Reaching adventure rank 35 unlocks various features, some of which are not so important, while others are crucial to the progression of No Element Traveler. The most important progression now available to us are the following: Talent Ascension Materials at adventure rank 27, Artifact Domains at AR30, various Trance Domains up to AR35, and max character ascensions increased to level 70 by reaching AR35. As I spent previous months grinding for both the Traveler and Xiangling, it wasn't long before I was able to max both characters to level 70, have level 70 weapons, and reach level 6 talents. With the Ascension Domain now possible to complete, it is only a matter of time before I reach level 90 on No Element Traveler. However, as we do not have access to weekly bosses, all talents will be capped at level 6. Even No Element Traveler's normal attack talent requires a weekly boss material, which I find absurd yet funny considering the circumstances. Besides character-wise progression, AR25 unlocks additional content such as Road Quest and Story Quest. Story quests, while technically accessible through the quest menu, are completely pointless as every single story quest is locked behind the progression of Arc quest, which requires obtaining an element. Road quest, on the other hand, can be pretty useful, the most important one being Tianqiu's treasure trove. Completing this quest unlocks the parametric transformer, which allows the conversion of in-game materials to various character development items, normally a fun item to be used to gain some extra materials. This item, however, is crucial for No Element Traveler. This is due to this item having a slight chance of dropping weapon ascension materials locked behind the weapon's ascension domain in Mondstadt, which is not possible to access due to Anemo being required to activate these pillars. Since the Black Sword requires Mondstadt weapons ascension materials, technically speaking, if you have the parametric transformer, you could raise this weapon to level 90, but actually achieving it will be much harder than anticipated due to the amount of luck required. How using this item does not guarantee getting the relevant items, and how the parametric transformer has a cooldown of 7 days. Besides Tianqiu treasure trove, there were a few other notable road quests I have access to. I was able to complete Hatara Tales in Inazuma with No Element Traveler, clearing the Mikage furnace from its bow thunder. I was able to complete various Li-Rare quests, such as the Chi of Guyu, in order to collect the relevant Joculus to hit level 10 Li-Rare statue of the 7. I was able to survive Seirai Island and collect its deepest loots without dying to the bow thunder, and I was even able to go against the odds and survive Surumi Island's fog barrier and collect the Electroculus within the island. However, despite my best efforts, my Inazuma statue of the 7 is still stuck at level 9. The one area which I was unable to access despite my glitching abilities was the Seirai Island top islands. As there is no official quest progression, the islands which led to the top of the island do not exist, and as such, due to the height of this area, I was unable to get there. But with Xiangling at our disposal, one day I may be able to get there and collect the remaining Electroculus to make level 10 Inazuma statue of the 7 a reality. Despite the amount of progress I've made since my last video, there's still more to come. Sumeru is still unexplored. There's a lot going on with the recent discoveries, so I've yet to explore Sumeru with No Element Traveler. And let's not forget, the Spiral Abyss can now be completed with No Element Traveler, even though highly improbable and practically impossible. Since we now have 2 characters to work with, we can participate in floors 5 and above. Perhaps if the stars align, and if my characters have the best artifacts ever to exist, then maybe, just maybe, it could be possible to complete the Spiral Abyss without ever obtaining an element. With a second character now in our disposal, new ways to explore Teyvat, and with the Ascension Domain now possible to complete, the day draws near where I will reach AR55 without ever obtaining an element. But even if I do reach AR55, there's still so much more to achieve, places to explore, future updates to look forward to, and more impossible things to overcome. Only time will tell if No Element Traveler can make the impossible possible and make the dreams into reality. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like and hitting the subscribe button. It takes literal years to make these videos, so any form of support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to try No Element Traveler yourself, you can join my Discord. We have a dedicated group of players who play No Element Traveler, so whether you actually play No Element Traveler or just curious as to what can be offered, if you're interested, the Discord link is in the description down below. But otherwise,